Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. Just so I can get... Oh. Just so I can get another Von Karma mad at me. It's all for that, really. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here. Proceedings are run by... I imagine he literally went, eek! Yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. Alright. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Why did I do that? What the fuck, man? Why do I do the judges? Why can I never... I don't pay any attention. I don't pay attention. That's the problem. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. Can it be called a costume if it's what she wears all the time? As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Okay. What if somehow the ghost possessed him? That doesn't make any sense. Never mind. Again, don't take anything I say seriously. I'm just... Every thought that I have about all the cases, I just throw them out there. So, yeah. Yeah, this is blood. This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. It's one of the joys of LPing these games. I just throw out all my ideas. It's great. It makes the games way more fun. Because I definitely wouldn't be enjoying these games nearly as much if I was just sitting here playing them on my own. I don't even know. In fact, if I wasn't LPing them, I probably would have never played them. I just never would have found the time. But being able to think out loud, do the voices, get comments from you guys, it makes it so much more fun, makes the game so much better. That's probably another reason why I'm considering them some of my favorite games now, just because of the experience that I've had playing them for this channel. It's been great. But anyway, I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. How are we actually going to get out of this, though? I mean, I have a ton of questions, but what is he actually going to do to prove to them, or at least get them to call it off for a day? I don't know. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. That probably didn't need to be pressed, but you never know. A dramatic effect? You're kind of scary today, you know, pal? Come now, Mr. Wright. Hey, if I'm getting scarier, that means I'm doing better at my job. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. Oh shit, now he's even getting scared of Phoenix. Phoenix is becoming hardened as a man of the courts. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. How come her clothes grow when her body grows? That's weird. I guess it's like One Piece, where just like devil fruits affect clothes too, just because convenient for the story. It's fine. Because that is the reason, like in One Piece, it's like, hey, why do Luffy's clothes stretch? Because you don't want to draw him naked. And I'm perfectly fine with that explanation. And I'm fine with that here too. Although if you showed Maya in the body she was in before and she was naked, I wouldn't complain. So anyway. So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. How much you want to bet? Just like every case ever, at some point we're going to get a last-second objection. And it's going to be from Pearl. That voice, man, that is really surprising. That's weird. I can't get over that. But anyway, we're gonna get a last-second objection from Pearl at some point. She's gonna come in here and be a badass and object, and then we're gonna cut to the stand, and we're not gonna see anybody. We're not gonna see who it is. There's just gonna be nobody there, and it's actually gonna be Pearl talking because she's too short to see it. I can see that happening, and if it happens, you all have to give me $5. But too bad, not enough time. Time to move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? What? That one. It's always that one. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. Is the sleeve? Is that a bullet hole? Is that a bullet hole in the sleeve? Did the bullet come through the screen and through the thing and the thing? Is it a bullet hole? There we go. There we go. That's what it is. There we go. Got it. I just have to look harder. I see it. I don't have to look harder. It's right there. Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to... Speaking of holes... I could go a lot of places with that, but I won't. Bullet hole is what I'm talking about. Oh, there's one little thing. Your Honor. Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? The way she gently tugs the whip. Okay. Where's this problem you're talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Right here. We'll get it. There we go. Boom! A bullet hole. Ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder? It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. I get it. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order, order, order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Excellent. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. I like that one. I like that pose. It's very nice. Is she actually... Well, she's done that pose before. What else is she hiding? Also looks like she's wearing blue lipstick. Is she? She might be. Anyway. Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole... I'm not doing the accent anymore because she doesn't have one. She just sounds normal. So, That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony that, just now, was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. Well, I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way. Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Oh, were we in the middle of a testimony? We went away from that for a while. That one then, I guess. He wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. Huh. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. Ugh, we're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. Do I? That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. I have to somehow find a critical contradiction, and then I'll have her. Not just a contradiction, a critical contradiction. So something that shows that he fought back. Okay, what do I have? Well, we got newspaper clippings, probably irrelevant. Am I ever gonna have to, like, decide to use this, or is it just gonna show up on its own? Like, it's just gonna show Cyclops and shit. We'll see. I don't know if I'll ever have to use that in a trial. It might just be during investigations. Putting little trials in the investigations. I don't know. There's this, but I mean, do I, like, I mean, usually it doesn't matter, like, oh, do I physically have that with me? If it's evidence I can present, you know. It doesn't matter. But that doesn't prove that he fought back, but that is... I do want to bring that up. It's got the bullet hole. Key. I mean, was grazed. 2 shots fired. See, his fingerprints were on it, and it was his, and 2 shots were fired, but apparently he was only hit once? So there's that. Small fruit knife. That's the phase. And it only has hers. And then there's this. I want to present the screen, but I don't think that's relevant yet. But it's either that or the gun, or profiles. I'm gonna say the gun. I don't think that's right. I don't think, because... Shit. I mean, I can afford to get things wrong. Fuck it. Just do the gun. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It clearly... fuck it. Well then. I thought it was a fine contradiction. Take a drink of water and show myself out then. Okay, well... So it's not the gun, it's definitely not the knife. It's not the screen. I mean, the fact that there is a bullet hole in the sleeve, she probably didn't do that herself. So yeah, there is that. But that's... I guess I've fallen into the same trap that I always did in the first game. That's so obvious, I didn't even think I needed to say it. But I guess that's what it is. Yep, there we go. And then the screen was further proof of that, which I thought I should present since we already talked about this hole in the sleeve, and they said, fuck it, it doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter, we'll move on to something else. How about the screen? That further proves something, but no, it's just the sleeve again. So it's like, oh, okay, I didn't think to present the same thing twice that we just talked about and dismissed. Anyway. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. So he fired, then he was stabbed and then shot. You know, I really don't see any conceivable way that, like, Morgan could have done it. First of all, she was there with us. So I don't... it's still her somehow. I don't know the details at all, so I am still quite interested. I don't know how it all worked out. None of it makes any sense so far. But I'm convinced that she did it. Which is pretty much every case. I always usually know who did it, because it's always obvious. I just don't know how, / why, and all the details. And that is quite interesting in this case. And I say it's always obvious, but that is under the assumption that it's her. So far, it's always ended up being the one who was the most obvious. And if it ends up being Morgan, then I will forever assume for the rest of the series that it is always the most obvious person as soon as I meet them. That is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. True, but she didn't do it. I don't know how, but she didn't. I don't know how that works. And there was the whole thing about her, like, being in the ground, like she went into Mimi's body while Mimi was in hers. I don't know about that, what that has to do with anything. Also, I was informed that it is actually Eeny Miny, which is how I initially said it, but then I said that Eeny Meeny is more fun to say. And it still is, so I'm still gonna say that. Eeny Meeny and Mimi Meeny, because it's funny. So I'm going to stick with that. The defense has yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Alright. What, exactly? Oh, shit! We into the good music. Give me a second. Alright, yeah. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Why? Do you guys not know what a motive is? Why does that not exist in this game? She would have no reason to do this. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. Okay. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot. Because they were too close, he missed. I mean, you're literally just making all this up, because you didn't know about any of this until right now. So you're just guessing. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The little girl just took the gun from the grown man? There was just an opening and she just took it? Okay. Well, Mr. Wright, if they were close enough for her to kill him at point blank, how did he miss and hit her sleeve? Whatever, man. I will say, Franziska von Karma is pretty good. Throughout this whole case, I've been like, I don't know how I'm gonna prove it. Like, I have a ton of questions myself, but I don't know what Phoenix can actually do to prove this shit, and I still don't at this point either. She's pretty good. I like her. During the channeling, so yeah. I mean, you're just guessing all this, so I'm just impressed at all. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. True. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Well, you don't really need to be strong to stab a person. I don't really know what you mean by that at all. Like, struggling for the gun, yes, but the stabbing part is irrelevant. Alright, that voice is so weird. It being so normal makes it weird. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning? Mr. Phoenix, Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? So we are accepting that she was channeling, then. So we're accepting the spirit thing. So even if she did it, she didn't do it. So we're good. We're done. Let's go home. So you know what the fuck we're talking about. You know all this shit. You know the fucking name of it. You know that she was possessed by a spirit. And she didn't do it. The spirit in her body still didn't do it, I'm telling you. But even if she did, she didn't, because the spirit did it. And you're acknowledging that. So what the fuck are we even doing here? With the nurse's build, which was pretty nice by the way, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Korean channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. Alright, well then. Jesus. I mean, I do... Like I said before with the whip, and just talking about her being perfect. Characters like her, I do have to wonder, like, what they would be like in the sack, you know? Like, does she use the whip? Like, I mean, she's probably definitely dominant, and I'm into that, and, you know, yeah, anyway. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. Not into necessarily the whip thing, although I've never tried it. So you never know. I'd be willing to give it a shot. If you think about the blood loss, it was pretty bad. How bad would you say it was? Pretty. I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. That's a really nice story, Dick. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness? Oh. That much. Thank you, actually, for doing that. He deserved it. You want to be my partner, too? Like how... I kind of like her, so you want to be like how Edgeworth helps me all the time? Do you want to just be on my team? You can whip people when they say stupid things, and I'll just question them and object and shit? Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? That's weird. He got it off the black market. Excuse me now. It's racist. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? Huh. So, you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.